All That Jazz has been on my to-watch list for such a long time, and I'm kind of surprised it took me this long to get around to watching it, as I love musicals. But finally, I did, and I found this to be really poor. I thought it was a really terrible film for specific reasons, and I'll highlight those in a moment, but I will say it has 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb across 38,000 reviews and ratings. I'm saying that because while I have a lot of criticism, it does seem to be a film a lot of people love. So take everything I'm saying with a pinch of salt. My advice would be, if you've been considering watching it, check it out, despite the fact that I don't actually recommend it, because it seems to appeal to a lot of people. And the film was released in 1979. It's directed by Bob Fosse, and it's written by Fosse and Robert Allen Arthur. And we have a cast including Roy Scheider and Jessica Lange and Reinking. Really good performances. I feel like that's one of the few things I can actually praise about this film. The performances are decent. I guess the camera work's fine. The music really isn't. The musical aspect of this. The choreography is great, and I'll talk about the narrative in a second. The choreography is very good. I say from an amateur perspective, I'm not a dancer, but to me it looked good. But the music, the soundtrack, it is for the most part really unforgettable. The vocal performances are absolutely fine, but the music is so dull. And it does not work as a musical. Yes, the core elements are there, but musicals are meant to be engaging and memorable, and the music's meant to make us feel things, and I just found it to be tremendously boring. The narrative itself, as a concept, I don't mind. It's a semi-autobiographical film based on Fosse's life and his career. And as a concept, I don't hate it. I think it could work really well, but there are a couple of issues here. One, the character is incredibly unlikable. This is the character of Joe Gideon, and I really disliked him. Now, that's not to say I have to like a protagonist to enjoy a film. Absolutely not. But I really disliked the character. The narrative itself was incredibly boring. Not a lot happens. It's not engaging. Sure, if the narrative was dull, but the musical numbers were entertaining, maybe it would be okay. But unfortunately, I hate the protagonist. The musical numbers are not that interesting. It's not that the music's bad. It's just not very good. The narrative itself is very dull. Visually, it's not that great either. We have a very dull colour palette. And again, not every musical needs to be bright and shiny, but it's just one more aspect that wasn't very entertaining. So for me, there wasn't anything, not one thing. Actually, some of the costumes during some of the musical numbers are quite good. But other than that, the colour palette, visually, not appealing. The camera work is fine, but it's not interesting to look at. I genuinely do not understand why this has 7.8 out of 10, because often a film can be quite highly rated, but I can say, well, it's just not for me, and that's fine. But I honestly cannot see many quality elements in this, so I'm confused by that. I haven't read any reviews. I try not to read reviews before doing my own discussion so as to not affect my own opinion, but I was very surprised by how poor I thought this was, because, well, it's one I've heard a lot about. I've heard a lot of good things. As I said, it had been on my to-watch list for quite a long time, and I hated it. I thought it was really terrible. I will say, well, the protagonist isn't annoying, but the film itself is not annoying. It is watchable in the sense that I don't think it's actually going to irritate you too much, so if you want to give it a go, I'd say give it a go. But I don't think it's a good film in the slightest, and it's certainly not a good musical. The protagonist is unlikable. The only quality aspects, the performances are good, and I guess the protagonist is well written in the sense that he's believable, but I certainly don't like him, and I don't care for his journey. I had no interest in following his narrative. For me, there was no emotional investment in this film at all. The camera work, absolutely fine. The music is not bad. It's not ugly to listen to. It's just not very memorable for the most part. And as I said, some of the costumes during some of the musical numbers were okay. But other than that, I can't really praise it. I don't understand the high rating. But if you're curious, I guess I can say All That Jazz might be worth checking out.